I thought I'd gotten lucky when they offered me the graveyard shift at the Provincial Records Bureau. 23 years old, drowning in student debt, living in a basement apartment where the ceiling leaked brown water every time it rained. The job posting said audio preservation specialist, which sounded a hell of a lot better than what it actually was, sitting alone in a converted storage facility outside the city, digitizing old recordings that nobody would ever listen to. The pay was decent, the hours were brutal, and the building creased. The building was a concrete box with fluorescent lights that hummed like they were trying to tell you secrets. But I needed the money, so I showed up every night at 10 p.m., clocked in, and started feeding deteriorating cassette tapes into the transfer machine. Most of it was mundane stuff, town council meetings from the 80s, school board recordings, a wedding reception where someone's uncle got too drunk and started singing off key. I put on my headphones, hit play, and let the voices of dead strangers fill my skull while I logged metadata into the system. Then they brought me Box 47. It arrived on a Tuesday. No fanfare, just sitting there on my desk when I walked in, wrapped in yellowed backing tape that looked like it had been applied decades ago. The shipping label was barely legible, but I could make out a return address, Regional Archive Services, Building C. I'd never heard of Building C. Inside were 63 cassette tapes, each one labeled with nothing but a date. No names, no locations, no context, just dates written in faded blue ink on peeling white labels. Most of them were from the late 70s, a few from the early 80s, and 3 of them were dated for next month. I stared at those 3 tapes for a long time. My first thought was that someone had screwed up the labeling. Maybe they'd gotten the decade wrong. Maybe it was supposed to be 1985, not 2025. It happens sometimes with old records people got sloppy, mixed up their numbers. But the handwriting was identical across all the tapes. Same pen, same hand. Same hand. Same careful, deliberate strokes. I set those 3 aside and started with the oldest recording. Popped it into the deck, adjusted my headphones, hit play. Static. Not unusual. Half the tapes I processed were corrupted beyond repair,